show me is a mother. If a guy ever touch my daughter, I won't even tell you what I would have done. Me say, touch me like a daughter, your finger them me cut off. Who not like that, me tell you which part to choke off. Heavy them a rape and nappy them a bust off. Me send for me double mouth. They make me temper get shot, you know. Touch me like a daughter, make she can't walk, you know. Me no afraid to drop the cutlass, them up them.
Yo, people, listen, bad artists.
I am here vibing with a woman who is widely regarded as the greatest female DJ in Jamaica's rubber dub history. She is a master stage performer with many hits to her credit. Her parents named her Janice 5, but we know her as
Lady G.
Queen. It's a joy. It's been a long time, but we're there now.
Reach.
We're there, yeah.
No dog never bite me when me little. So me no look chip up like the old bicycle. And when me a 100, me not look cripple. My breast still I go stand up and not bite it nipple. Some of them say it must be a miracle. Me no do liposuction or face no needle. Body no brought down like some old vehicle. I show me exercise, that's why me fit like figure plus. Regular me got me mineral bath.
Teach them. Always make sure the message I reach them.
Yeah, Empress. All is well.
Yeah, man, I give thanks.
Looking young and fresh.
Thank you.
As we said earlier, it's a joy to be sitting beside, for me, the female who, in terms of DJing and sound system, at the top of the pack. Easily.
Yeah.
Talk to us though, early life. Place of birth.
Thompson Pen, Spanish Town.
Music City.
Yes, so I was born at home.
Oh, home delivery.
Yeah, a lane where them call Beacon Avenue. Grew up in Thompson Pen and then, in another circle, Thompson Pen, Beacon Avenue, Chins Avenue, you know, and then I moved to De La Vega City.
Oh, so it was between Thompson Pen and Della.
Yeah.
So who was in Thompson Pen?
Thompson
Mommy and
Pen,
Daddy?
No, my mother and my grandmother and my uncles and my brothers and sisters.
Okay, so it was mommy who moved to Della, or you had family there, so you went there?
Well, from my knowledge, I was born in Thompson Pen, and from that time it was just my mother and my grandparents and my brothers and my uncles.
Okay. How many brothers and sisters?
Well, the last time I tried to get the number from my father, him tell me like 15 on his side, yeah. 10 girls and 5 boys, but on my mother's side, it's 6 of us.
Okay.
So it's 2 boys and 3 girls, yeah.
So all your brothers and sisters are still alive?
No, the one that followed me passed
I'm
when he
sorry
was
to
young.
hear that.
Yes.
And mommy and daddy are still around?
Yeah, man.
It's a
Thank
blessing
God.
that, man.
Yeah, man.
It's a
Thank
blessing
God.
that, man.
Yeah,
We're glad to hear that. What was it like though, growing up back in Thompson Pen and De La Vega City back then, financially though?
Well, thinking about it now, I would say poor because we were all living in a one room.
Okay.
In a tenement yard. So it was me and my brother and my mother living in a one room, one big room. So you know, like kitchen and bathroom door to door. So
okay.
yeah, and then after a while I moved to my grandparents because they were a little bit more financially stable. So yes, so
and they were
living in Brunswick Avenue.
Brunswick. Okay.
Yeah, so I went there to live for a little while. And you know, as a child, I miss my mother, I miss my brothers and sisters. You know, even though, you know, food and everything was there, but I still miss that life with my parents. So at one point, you know, I ran away.
Go back at Thompson?
And go back to Thompson Pen. Yes.
Where you attended school?
First of all, I went to a basic school. Them call a place called Old Road in a Spanish town. Yeah, Old Road. And then I went to Crescent College. No, not Crescent College, Tredegar Park School.
Okay.
Yeah, and that was further up Thompson Pen Minister. Then when I went to live with my grandparents, I went to Crescent College. And then when I moved back to my mother, I went to St. Joseph it's a private high school.
Okay.
St. Joseph High School. But at that time, it was very expensive, you know. I tried to make it work, but I tell my mother, said, look, it has stressed you too much. Try and get me into one of those government high school. And then she did, and I went to Dunoon. So Dunoon was the last school I went to.
And you graduated and stuff there?
Never graduated.
Never graduated.
Which I regret.
Oh, yeah?
But one of them things there.
You care to say what go on there, sir?
Well, honestly, my grades were going down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you did start take on
the music,
already?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Start go dance.
Side.
And I come in late, and when I go to school, I just want to sleep, and so I wasn't, paying
focusing
school.
as much as you could have or should have.
Yes.
But even so though, I know that Daddy kind of is involved in the music.
Yeah.
He is involved with the Congos.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So that was from you were a child growing up?
Yes, but he was like he used to play in another band, yeah.
So where did you know or how, where along the journey you started feeling that musical vibration? So that's something, I love that something, that's something I like.
I really discover like music like from when I was going to like Crescent All-Age School, because I noticed I used to like whatever song that was popular at the time, we used to always build, lyrics off it, a part two off it, and even at one point I used to even like jeer my brothers and sisters, like I would just build lyrics off of them and just
mock
jeer them and mock them and make them cry and them something there, so yeah.
But and saying that though, you're kind of growing up in Thompson, Penn.
Yes.
You would have been close to a lot of persons who would have made name in the music down the years. So Son was there. Dirt, Wolfman. Stitchy was nearby.
Yeah, but Stitchy used to come, in the area. Stitchy wasn't from that area.
I think Luton for you grew up that side too.
Yeah, but them time the Luton are the baby man.
Baby.
Yeah. But Luton yard where we live was a dance hall.
Dance hall?
Yeah, big sound used to come, they come play like all Volcano and all them sound, they used to come, they come play. So I could stay from my house and hear because them time them couldn't come out, and hear the music I play over there.
So music was always a part of the environment and the surroundings.
Yes.
And you said from the Crescent now, you start feel a vibration.
Yeah.
Who were the people in the space that you were listening to though where I said, that person there?
I mean, at that time, really, I used to like listen to Sister Nancy and Lady Ann.
Lady Ann.
Yeah. And I think you had Mama Liza with Kojak at the time. And other young females that didn't really make it big, was doing them thing.
Yeah. So Crescent now, and as you moved into Dunoon, you said that you started to go dance.
Dance regular,
and you go dance just to go dance, or you go dance to try hold the mic?
Yeah, I go dance for hold the mic. Because by that time, they had a little sound system, a Thompson pen. I don't remember the name of it, but like, that's where me and Son and Wolfman would have go workout pan at the time. I can't remember the name of it. But it was like, it's a little place so the man make like up in a one tree. Up in a one tree, and we used to just go there and just hold a vibe. When I look at 4-line lyrics, I go there and go test it out and hear it sound, Yeah.
Yes. And at the time now, when you started out, you were using some of Son's lyrics at the time?
Yeah, man. Son lyrics, I used to DJ them. Further down, because I used to like make up my little 1 and 2 lyrics them, As I tell you, I used to make lyrics from other songs that were popular at the time. But when I really start DJing like now and sound system like that, that's when like I start, gravitate into papasan lyrics them, all of the lyrics so I know I could have DJ them.
Outside of that sound that you made mention of, that little sound that you made, which was the first sound you actually go and dance, go hold the mic?
Woo, remember good. I think really and truly is Black Scorpio,
Scorpio?
Yeah, Black Scorpio.
Oh, you end up around a what house?
It's Daddy Miki. I saw Daddy Miki at It was an independent, I don't remember what year it was, but I can remember the fashion at the time. It was polka that did wear them time there. And they had a competition and they wanted a female. Because them time they do me look 1 and 2 thing on Night Flight, that's the name of the song. Night Flight. Yes, I'm glad we remember. Yes. And at the time they wanted a female artist to come up and DJ some lyrics about polka dot and thing.
Okay.
And my cousins them that were there with me at the time boots me up and said, go on man, go on. Because through them here, me always I do my little thing for Night Flight and so them feel like say me can do it. So them boots me up and I go up on the stage and I do my little thing and I go on good. I don't remember the lyrics. Honestly. I go up there and I do my thing and then when I came off stage I met Daddy Meeky and he said to me, you sound good, you know. You sound good. I can bring you down one sound system named Black Scorpio, you know, but it's that Edley Avenue, you know. Here we do. Just come meet me out here, so at the bus stop, you know, and we take the bus and we go into Edley Avenue, and that was it, and that's where it all started.
What was Mommy's reaction to you, you know, wanting to pursue the music like?
Well, at first I used to like going in the community and stuff. She didn't have a problem with that because, you know, them time they dance on weekend. So she never have a problem with that. But after that, when I really wanted was to like go out of country dance them because first of all, I must tell you, when I used to go to like certain dances in the year, I have an uncle named Splint. Him used to be my bodyguard.
Okay.
So him used to, so my mother feels safe.
Yeah, right,
when
right,
him know
right.
say, yeah man, me and Horace gone on the road. We call him, Horace is his real name, but them call him Splint. So he was my bodyguard who used to go, you know, accompany me to the dances, them and stuff. So my mother never have a problem with that. But the real time now, I'm ready now for step out now and gotta dance them a country and so on. I'm gonna go Scorpio one day and them said them a play, I think it was in Westmoreland, and I said, I want to come to the dance. So I go Edley Avenue from early out and there wait and thing. And because Scorpio tell me, Scorpio say, you can't come early, man. You can't go down with the truck. I said, really? You know? I said, really? I said, no. So I go and I see trees and sugar shine them and me and them they attack a thing. And I say, yeah, man. Scorpio said, I can't go down with the truck. And I said, no, man. Late sugar shine, I must say. And she's them said, no man, you know, go on the truck, man, you drive it away in the car. I'm saying, all right, and so just wait. And we did there, I'm wait for the whole evening, but by the time we're ready to leave now, you know, we have to pass Spanish Town. So I say, all right. I say, Scorpio, you know, say, I have to go ask my mother if I can go country, you know. And him stopped by and my mother was there with a couple of our friends, them and thing, and Scorpio, you know, asked her, because me never want to ask, because me never want to get the embarrassment, So she said, no, she don't go anywhere. She a girl picnic. She for stay in her house. But she'll go country go. And one of her friends that was sitting there said, no man, Devon, make she go on, man. Okay, you know, say that she like,
right,
make she go on and worry. And then Scorpio now put in look at her. I say, where you say, mommy, don't worry yourself, man. Take care of your daughter for you, man. Don't worry yourself. And he really did. You know what I mean? He was more like a father figure to me. So that's how me get there. You know, the first go, and then after that, me just ask some more questions.
So even before that dance at West Low, you actually DJ up on Scorpio yet?
Yeah, man, me used to go Edley Avenue.
Which was the first dance you can remember, location where you're going at the dance with Scorpio the night and hold the mic?
It was Edley Avenue because like every Thursday night, him used to have a talent thing there every Thursday night. So I used to go there every Thursday night, jump on my bus after Daddy Meeky bring me there for a couple of times. After a while, I just start jump on my bus right out because I was living at Jones Pen at the time. So the bus stop is right across there. So I just jump on the bus and go there. But at the time, I was still going to school. I was going to Dunoon at the time. So I kind of want to do my music. So I have to try to please my mother by going to school. So Thursday night, I'm going to go to school Friday morning. Yeah, man, I time pedal the bus because the last bus around 12 o'clock. So I jump on my bus and make sure I come home, for go to school the next morning. Yeah.
When you went, you mentioned Shuka Shine and General Trees.
Yeah.
Who else you went to Scorpio to see?
Well,
I mean, Mickey them would be there.
Mickey, yeah,
Daddy
Mickey was
and
there.
Mickey
Yeah,
would be
they were there. Culturally was there. And who else?
You went near to see Sasa?
No,
Sasa
Sasa left.
already?
Yeah, yes, Sasa left already. Yeah. So it was Trees was the upcoming, artist at the time. Yeah.
Mikey Melody was there at the time? No?
Yeah, Mikey Melody. Yeah, yeah. After a while, Mikey Melody,
okay.
and we have a friend, little friend Barry back there
Barry
too.
Bach.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah.
So, you know, little girl from Spanish Town
Yeah.
around Big Son, Agar Road.
Yeah, man. Oh, yes, man. Black Scorpio.
Scorpio, Big Son at the time. And now, at that time, he would be involved in clashes. Like,
Yeah.
do you remember any of the clashes that you were a part of in your Scorpio days?
No, honestly, at that time, I was just more like Trees was really the man on the
Out
song,
front.
up front. So, when I'm go on with them thing, me just come in and me just drop two lyrics and get me two big forward, and then me just go and chill again, and then, yeah. The real clash thing really start now was with Sting, because after when I met my name now on the sound system, like traveling all over Jamaica.
We soon reach on to Sting,
Yeah.
man. Whilst at Scorpio, you started to link up now with African Symbol.
Yeah, African Symbol in Montego Bay, yeah.
And most of those dances that your son used to go down.
Yeah. And Echo Minor too.
Echo, yeah, Echo was
Minor.
around.
Echo Minor was the person who really bring me to African Symbol,
Oh.
Yeah, he was the one who really brought me to
because
African
Echo was
Symbol.
around Scorpio at that time
Too,
as
yeah.
well.
But, Echo used to freelance, you know what I mean?
During the African Symbol are really and truly a straight class sound, really?
Yeah, clash. Yeah, me
So
get
you would have been
involved in
involved
some of them
in
clash.
some of those clashes?
Yeah, because I introduced them to Papa San, because...
You introduced Symbol to San?
Yes.
Oh, good introduction that.
Yeah, man. So, come and say, what, bad DJ on, you know what I mean? And African Symbol was a good sound, quality and...
Big sound.
Yeah, so I tell Big Joe about Papa San.
Oh, yeah,
and,
Big Joe was selected out there at the time.
So I bring San down
And
there.
at that time, them and the Jammies and all of them people, they got it.
Yeah, man. I remember one clash. It was, I think, Admiral Bailey and I think Little Twitch was there at the time on King Jammies. And me, General Lee and San. Who else was on there? Echo was there too, yeah. And a couple of Montego Bay artists.
Probably White Mice was there
Yeah. And that clash there, yeah. That clash there, but the other day...
Maybe the clash game?
Yeah, man. I think it was Damali Beach.
Okay.
Yeah, big clash, man. African Symbol, yeah.
So
give it to them.
Black Scorpio, African Symbol.
Yeah.
Eventually, you started going around
Creation. And then you have another sound in Mandeville named Destiny. I think it was Daddy Meeky them bring me to that sound.
Destiny?
Yeah.
Oh, first,
in Manchester.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But the sounds that you spend the most time around were
Black Scorpio and
Creation
and
African Symbol.
Yeah,
and when you went to Creation, it was San, lecturer.
Yes.
Who else was there? Bonnie General was there at the time?
I think so, no. I think so.
Famous
I'm
was
not
there?
so sure. Yeah, only Famous was there, yeah.
You know a billion name and you are rub shoulders with some of the greatest names that the Stitches, the Sun, the Bonnie General, all of the lecture, all of them on there.
Yeah.
Zane, which dance stick in your mind across any one of the sound like that just never come out of your head?
There was so much dance. Honestly, there's so much. It's like I can't pinpoint for one, but the one in Montego Bay stand out though.
The African Symbol versus Jammies.
Yeah, that one there stand out. Yeah. The night there. Yeah, we ackle him, yeah.
And at the time, at this time now, the female DJs who were really and truly strong in the space would be who? Charmian?
I don't think Charmian came out as yet,
Okay.
No. Charmian never out as yet. At that time, I think Nancy already migrated, I think, and Lady Ann wasn't around.
Okay.
So I don't remember. I know Sister Carol started recording too at that time, because I can't remember the first time I hear that song, Down in the Ghetto.
Down in the Ghetto.
Yeah, I was was on sound system that time. Doing my thing. I never did any recording as yet.
So the space is kind of there for a female artist to kind of step into.
Yeah, yeah.
And at this time, you're going to record it. The first time you record, I think you recorded for Scorpio.
Black Scorpio was the first producer that really bring me into a studio. And I want to tell you that was his first set of music.
So you were there when Scorpio started his recording label.
Yeah.
And them time they ain't no studio yet.
No,
it was,
no.
I think where you went.
We got to Channel 1, yeah. Soji was the engineer at the time. I never forget. Never forget Soji, yeah.
And at this time, so what was it like though? Was it you have a song ready or you got there and a rhythm play and you put something on the rhythm? What was it? What was that process
well,
like?
I had a lyrics. I had a lyrics that I used to DJ in the dance. And so when I hear the rhythm, I have a couple of lyrics, whole heap of lyrics. You know them time in a dance, I build lyrics every night. So I had a couple of lyrics, and when I heard the rhythm, then I choose a song. When I'm a lyrics, then forgot on it. A song named Get a Rock. Yeah.
Was Get a Rock you singing about a sound?
No, Get a Rock. It was just like a dance, like.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
A dance,
Okay.
Yeah.
And I think that song is on a cut of the answer rhythm.
Yeah. Yeah.
First song.
Yes. First.
So
first
took
song.
the voice.
Yeah.
How that song?
Every movement, everything when I say Soji, I do it.
Oh, so I get a vibe there?
Yeah. And it was one take. One take.
Go?
Yeah, one take. One take. Because, you know, DJing on the sound system, I mean, that is like practicing.
Cool.
Yeah,
Man.
So it's like when you're going to the studio already, know your lyrics, them and everything, and, you know, you just one whop.
One whop.
Yeah.
How did that song do in terms of getting plays on the radio and the dancehall space?
You got a couple play, because Frankie Paul had a song on it too. Closer I Get to You. Yeah, so that song and my song was playing too.
Oh, nice.
And I think I heard Barry G play it one time, yeah.
Yes. I think one of the important moments in your journey was an event at Cinema 2. DJ roll call?
Oh,
I think
yes.
DJ Daddy called you on stage. Oh, you end
DJ,
up around there,
I forget
so.
DJ Daddy. DJ Daddy was an African symbol also.
Oh,
yes,
okay.
DJ. That's where I met him. Yeah. So, I mean, DJ roll call, I wasn't on the show, but because I know DJ Daddy from Mobi, and I know he was going to be there, so I think I got the ticket from General Trees, because General Trees was on the show too.
Oh, okay.
And I went there, you know, take my bus and me by myself with a loaner and go there and find DJ Daddy, and DJ Daddy said, I'm going to call you up, man. He was the one who said, I'm going to call you up, man, because he know me from the time. He know me can do already. Yeah, and him called me up, and I went, and it all started right there. When I went on stage, I think he was DJing, you know, Trim's an old man, him always a DJ, him look a old man thing them.
Oh, so that's why they call him DJ Daddy?
Yeah, because it was very old. He was like, DJ Daddy was like probably in his 70s. Yeah, it was probably like in his 70s, yeah, man. The only old DJ when we ever, I don't know what happened to him, I haven't heard anything about him, but yeah, DJ Daddy, and him called me up and he was DJing some lyrics about, you know, old man thing and a freestyle, a style, you know, upon him and the whole place bus, and the next morning in the paper, and I think in the Glean, and them say DJ Daddy sidekick. They didn't even know
who you were at the time.
DJ Daddy sidekick.
And speaking about who you were at the time, were you going by Lady G yet?
Yes.
How you came by that?
Because before the sister Janet never really do anything.
Oh, so you were working with Sister Janet?
Yeah, that's when
Janet
I was.
Your pet name or something?
Janet, yeah. Oh. That's when I was DJing on the community sound.
Oh, Sister Janet.
Yeah, that's when I was DJing on the community sound. Sister Janet was the name, 'cause that was my pet name. But Sassafras at Denzelnar, he was the one who gave me the name Lady G, because, you know, Lady name was going on at the time, and Lady Ann was out at the time too. So him just give me the name and said, no man, Sassafras said, no man, Lady G not say nothing, man.
Yeah, Sister Janet not say nothing.
Sister Janet not say nothing. Lady G is the name. Yeah.
Just out of the thing here like that.
Yeah. And I was introduced to Sassafras by Papa Santo.
By
Papa
San?
Yeah. Because at the time when I was
he was
DJing,
doing the posters at the time.
yes, Sassafras was the only posters man. Because even people from overseas used to come and print posters there from Sassafras. So because the time my name wasn't going on, I was DJing on Black Scorpio song, but my name wasn't going on the posters.
Oh.
Yeah, so Papa San took me to Sassafras, who him the man who print the posters. And Sassafras just started put my name on the posters. And that was it, yeah.
And Lady G was born.
Yep.
So after the Cinema 2 experience now, where DJ that they call you on, the thing start grow bigger and bigger.
Yeah, because right there, so now, Supreme Promotion, so Leng, had Sting coming up.
So that would be Sting what, 88 or 87?
I think it was 87.
So you did Sting before the hardware?
No. After DJ Roll Call, because you know DJ Roll Call was, I don't remember
like
what time of the year.
Event for Sting or something?
Leng, they have two shows.
Okay.
Two shows. Him have DJ Roll Call
and
him have Sting. So DJ Roll Call was more like a dancehall thing. It wasn't with a band. It was sound system.
Rubber dub type of
Yeah,
vibe.
but Sting was with a band. Yeah, so Sting was coming up right after that.
Okay.
So that's how me get to make it on that year.
Even before we reach a Sting, because I think the first thing would be 88. We'll soon get round to that.
Yeah.
88 was, and after your voice, Ghetto Rock, did you actually voice before Respect? Nuff Respect?
No, the first thing I didn't have any recording.
You didn't have no recording?
No, just Ghetto Rock, and that was it.
So Leng, I book you off of your performance at DJ Roll Call, and probably what you're doing on some of the dances there?
Exactly, yeah.
Oh, yeah?
Because that's how the thing used to go, you know, once you mash up the place in a dance hall, you know, you will make it to the stage show. Yeah.
So, but all the readings say you do Nuff Respect 88 though.
88 or 89 was Nuff Respect.
88, because 88? It was an 88 showcase.
Okay. Yes, but me not think me to do it yet.
Yeah, okay.
I never do it
fine,
yet.
You know.
I never do it yet.
Are you
the first thing,
you never have the song?
No. Only Ghetto Rock was the only song. When I did the second thing, that's when I
song there.
Yeah,
so 89 Sting was when you have some hit songs on there.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about 88 Sting. Because 88 Sting and 89 Sting are the two Stings that are regarded as the two greatest female crashes in the history of the music.
Yeah.
88 now was with Lady G, Sister Charmaine, Junior Ranks, and Lady Junie.
Right.
So it was built as a clash leading up.
Yeah.
And you get yourself ready.
Yeah, and I remember when I went to, because at the time I was working at Free Zone too.
Oh, you did that do the 9 to 5 thing?
Yeah, man, I work at Free Zone and I went to Leng office and Leng, and I think Sister Charmaine was there. And Leng said, this are the artists. Because that time I think Charmaine started recording and stuff like that. Yeah, because she started get recognition in recording before
you did.
Yeah. So Leng said to Sister Charmaine, said, this are the badass from Spanish Town me I bring phone, you know. and Sister Charmaine said, yeah, what we thought, no dark back. So right there, when she said right there, says like me and 10 of those go up like this. I said, all right.
And
yeah, man.
that thing was built for the hard way.
Yes.
And the street of it say Lady G killed people. I mean, I've watched the clip, so I mean, it's not just on the street.
Yeah, but Charmaine was the more known one with recording. But I was just a little artist there with some wassy lyrics. Yeah, and I want to tell you too, I can't left out my brother Dirtsman, my late Dirtsman. I remember when they said, Leng told me that I was going to be on Sting and so on. You know, I'm kind of a little nervous and thing, because I mean, I never used to a big stage and Dirtsman said, don't worry yourself, G, you're going to kill them. You're going to kill them, G.
But Dirtsman a boots.
Yeah, man. He was saying, I'm going to kill them, G, watch. All right. We're going to come back with something for you. Don't worry yourself. And he went and he wrote a lyrics. The one was say, no take me simple.
Oh.
Yeah, and him come and say, don't kill him, man. And yeah. And I think that lyrics was the last lyrics I draw. The last lyrics I draw.
I kind of get a look of fire because I asked the question. So, if you were to say
Yeah.
who won 88, you, or I sound like I give it to Shavian.
Charmian was more recognized, but I was the upsetter.
Oh, you were the upsetter?
I was the
Okay,
upsetter that
okay,
night.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I was the upsetter that night.
And outside of DJ roll call that year leading up to Sting and Sting, those were the two first big stage shows like that you actually worked on.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah,
got
man.
them time Sting a keep where?
Cinema
Stadium or
2.
Cinema 2?
Cinema 2, yeah.
You got Cinema 2 go make your name.
Hold on. The first one was Stadium.
Stadium, okay.
No, may I mix up now.
So the first one was Cinema 2, then the next
Cinema
one was
2.
Stadium.
Yes. Yeah. So it goes, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now, you would have made a name for yourself at how old were you at this time?
Oh, me use my kids them for my timing, you know. Let's see, I was probably around 19,
Young
around
girl,
that
man.
time, yeah.
Young girl.
Around 19, yeah.
So now, that would have led now to 89 now, where you had a name in the space
Yeah.
and you started to record more now.
Yes.
So
after that Sting.
After Ghetto Rock,
Yeah.
see, and
Yeah.
this is a question I did ask earlier. Did you actually record any song before you recorded Nuff
Nuff
Respect?
Yes. After the Sting thing now, then I think Junior Ranks was the one who took me to Winston Riley. And I did this song, Samfire Lover.
Whoopton James.
Yeah,
Oh,
I did
big
this
tune.
song. Yeah, I went there the night and, you know, Junior said, come on, I'll make you meet my producer, man. And yeah, 'cause you know,
And
me come from
Winston
Spanish
Riley.
town, I don't know nobody at all. And she bring me there on the night and I think him already recorded the
Whoopton
song.
had recorded the song.
Already. And because I didn't know what I was going to do that night. And he played the song with Upton James and said, find something for that. And if you notice in the song, because I was mostly freestyling, so if you notice in the song, I said Junie. So a lot of people thought it was Junie Ranks who
But
did that
big
song
big up
first.
Junie.
Yeah, may I big up Junie. Yeah. And then after that now, that's when I start recording now for Gussie.
For Gussie, yeah. But
Yeah.
what it is, because you see, Samfire Lover, and as we say, a lot of people think of Junior Ranks and Upton James.
Yeah.
Give me a couple lines out of your thing, out of your song.
Some file lover, me no wanna some file lover. No some file lover, me no wanna some file lover. No some file lover, me no wanna some file lover. No some file lover, me no wanna some file lover. 'Cause them say easy lady G, you are at number. Some say easy lady G, you know you are the muggler. And some of them a call me the at number. But I don't love the name, I don't love the idea. Why you rush me like a termite, I rush lumber. Everywhere that me go, them love the super duper. So some file lover.
Big tune. As
Yeah.
a matter of fact, that song is a song you can consider to be a classic in the space.
Yeah, me hear it a whole time I play
That
when
big
I'm playing.
tune. big song.
Yeah.
Upton James, big singer.
Yeah, man.
Winston
I remember
Riley,
the first time we
producer.
performed that at Sunsplash when the place pop up, man.
You and him were on stage?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
that,
that would
I
be
think that was the
Sunsplash,
only time I
89.
can remember we performed that song.
So that would be 89, same way?
Sunsplash. It was Sunsplash, yeah.
A
Yeah,
big
man.
tune, that man. And that was the second recording.
Yeah.
Big up to Junior Ranks,
Yeah.
dog at that part there.
Yeah,
And
big
you say,
her up,
after
yeah.
this now, that is when you linked up with Music Works,
Yeah,
Gussie Clark.
Gussie, yeah.
And Nuff Respect was the first song you recorded for Gussie?
Yeah, first song, yeah. First song.
That song is regarded as a female anthem of sorts.
Yeah, yeah.
What was it? Was it a song that you, when you wrote, or somebody wrote it for you, or what was it?
Well, honestly, at the time, afterward, like in my community, this youth named Pablo, we call him Pablo. Dodo, we used to always sit down and write lyrics. And at the time, I said, I want to write a lyrics where I big up the woman them because, you know what I mean, too much put up your hand if you are me, if you are me tea and all of them, something there. So a lot of people were complaining about that, you know what I mean. You know, and they must say, boy, you know, about disrespect the woman them. So I said, I want to write a lyrics like that, so. And to be frank, that lyrics was written at Raya Kobe River, there, right underneath the bridge.
Della,
because we used to go there and we used to sit down and write the lyrics and stuff, and you know, river and thing, and we just did a whole of vibe. So yeah, then I went to when Gussie sent to call me, and I went to the studio, and I think Mikey Bennett was there, and they put on the track.
Rumors.
They put on the track and say, where you up for this? And, I start DJing the lyrics, just lyrics. And Mikey Benny said to me, how about, no care my name, no spread no rumor, show me enough respect. And that's how the whole punchline came in. And that was
Mikey found the melody.
Yes, Mikey, the punch, found
yes.
the punch, yeah. And so, because the whole time, them have me there, because I never really used to the studio thing, you know what I mean? I never really used to the recording.
And it was a
that
slower
much.
rhythm, you were more hardcore, hard hitting at the time.
Yes, because after I record that, I said, whoa, that song that kind of slow, kind of look boringish. I don't tell Judah Ranks the day after I finish.
Yeah.
Because, I was there like DJing. Mikey have me a DJ the whole time, and then when him feel sorry for me, he said, go and drink some water and come back. And that was it.
So when you left the studio, you never feel like it was that song that why be the song where?
No, I just know somebody just do a song. Yeah, that's it. And honestly, I'm always that way though.
Always that way?
Always that way when I record a song. I just know, say, yeah, it sounds good and yeah. And that's it. Mm-hmm.
That song?
I never say like, yo, this is number one. And never.
You just go lay down the vocals and the work out
yeah, and
itself.
it feel good to me and say, yeah, I like that.
That song became a monster song.
Yeah.
And it has remained a song where females identify with right through.
Yeah. And to tell you the truth is like, a lot of times when I used to have my stage shows, some of the time I never used to DJ that song because it was just too slow for me. I never used to DJ it. It's just that, after a period of time, it's like I realized, oh,
big
this song is, Yeah.
Hit song, back to back.
Yeah, after that. And then now me and Son link up.
Legal Rights.
Yeah, Legal Rights.
I think you guys did Legal Rights for Techniques.
Yeah.
So it was Son's initiative, Son's idea?
Yeah.
So he wrote it?
No, both of us.
Wrote it together?
Yeah, both of us, because he had the idea though. And I want to tell this lyrics, right? We were at this Virgin house where we used to hang out in Kingston, because we live in Spanish all the time, and everything was happening in Kingston. So we went to Kingston and we hung out on the spot. And me and him there and we are back and forth with lyrics. And we have a little audience because we're Virgin them did there. So every time when Son come with something and then we come with something, them are the one who used to approve of it because they was like, yeah, that's wicked. But Son was the man who came up with the idea.
Man have a right to.
Yeah.
Big tune.
Yeah.
Big tune. And it was after that now that Gussie wanted something similar.
Yes.
So that is how Round Table Talk came in.
Yeah. And we did another combination after that, but for Shocking Vibes.
Want you
back in my life. Yeah, we did that. Yeah.
Later down. I think about 95
yeah.
song that come about.
Yeah.
But you and Son have crazy chemistry.
Yeah, man.
And
if you want to say, if I'm a teacher, I'm a teacher.
That's what I tell you a little thing. When I grew up, I hear say, Lady G, a son girl.
Yeah, man, me hear that too, man. We hear that too. My son.
Yeah.
Them call him
son.
When I go prep school.
So hold on. So Cedric, as it mentioned in Legal Rights and Round Table Talk, is the name of your son?
No, it's not my name. Them just give him that name.
Oh, so they call it Cedric from the songs?
Yes.
Oh.
And he used to come over and complain. So, Booby, why do you call me Cedric?
Yeah, why? When I grew up there, you say, Lady G, your son
even
girl,
today, you can't tell nobody that. But me and Son, we have like brothers and sisters. Brothers and sisters, because his parent, his father, because Son was living with his father, his father and my grandparents, because I was living with my grandparents in Delato, was like, they were drinking partner, them, because them love them waters. So we, as kids, we are friends, me and Dirts and Son and, further down, you have Wickerman, from Dela and so, yeah.
Look at me, not when no woman show me. Not to me living and they get to show me. Look at me, not when no. Remember this again, me say Papasan say you want miss, Lady G say you want this. Mind you destroy the relation. Papasan say you want miss, Lady G say you want this. And that, me sing again, me say, man have a right to, man have a right to. You don't hurt me, me nah go hurt. Man have a right to. this, yo. What we say again?
89 now was a massive year, recording-wise and also performing-wise. Because 89's thing now was a next monster's thing.
Yeah, then tell them I'm ripe.
You're right. And that year was Lady G, Lady Charmaine, Lady P, and Lady
Sister
Pacha.
Charmaine and Lady Pacha, yeah.
Big lineup.
Yeah.
You take them to the hanging tree.
Yeah. I want to tell you, honestly, that night when I went to Sting, I wasn't in a good vibe because with my baby father at the time, him, you know, I don't know if it's stupidity or insecurity or, I don't know, but him used to always just mess with my brain and them something there. So it's like, yeah, so that night that before we got a Sting, and we can tell you, we put up a big fight. So I went there like really upset the night and was definitely out of it, you know. And cause when I went on the stage, if you notice, like the first half, I was like, calm. But what me say,
Charmaine.
like, no man, no Charmaine, man, Lady P. Cause Lady P, she come well prepared. Hey, she come well prepared, you know, cause she should know, say, me are the female with the long lyrics, them, you know, so she come prepare with everything, you know, and you know, me stay so and take it kind of light. Me I say, Chuck, walk over, you know what I say? But it's like, when me see Lady P, you know, start press gas now, me I say, no, man, you have to wake up, G, you have to wake up. And then even the lyrics that I did, the one I say, the lyrics that I... Hanging tree. That was just a freestyle thing too, cause that was just a freestyle thing. And you know, so you know, Johnny has burned did have a song like that, so we just split it up and just put some lyrics to it. And
biggest forward that in a clash.
Yeah, man.
And that was before Pacha really got big.
Yeah, that night was the night when Pacha, she said when she came off stage, she was crying, and that's the night she was discovered. Yeah.
So that was the night when specialists discovered her.
Yeah.
And the rest is history, I suppose.
Yeah.
So 2 years now, back-to-back Sting.
Yeah.
Technically, Lady G take it.
Yeah, man.
So, big recorded artist now.
Yeah.
I come from sound system days to big stage show artist now.
Right, and if you notice, on those clash, I didn't DJ any of my recording songs.
Right, straight.
It was just straight lyrics. You know, but I'm also definitely like recording. I never really like recording though.
Why?
I don't know. I just did love the dancehall. You know, cause I mean, I like the reaction of the people. Them, you know. Yeah. So I never really take recording seriously. Yeah.
Even after.
Yeah, man, after them,
Nuff Respect and legal rights and round table talk.
Yeah, man, because I had the opportunity to do a lot of recording with Gussie, you know, because Gussie was like, after what was my producer at the time. Like, me could have go Gussie studio and do anything, you know, and
you just never...
I didn't act upon it.
You ever look at that and say, you know, I probably should have?
And part of it, honestly, part of it was also my relationship too. Part of it at that time. Okay. Yeah, because it's like, I just can't bother like, yeah, man, every time I go studio, man, it's like, it's a problem. Every time I go, you know, one man I go down the studio, so it's like, it's a problem them time there. At one point, you know, Gussie was to have a meeting with that person to allow me to come at the studio when we're supposed to come at the studio. So, I mean, we never talk, we don't save that from a book still, but yeah, but for real, yeah, man. Yeah.
Wow. You did any more Sting after 89?
Yeah, man. Even at Jamora, yeah, I did Sting at Jamora. There wasn't no for the hard way, no.
Right,
it wasn't no for the hard way. After that, the for the hard way thing, they kind of died down.
What happened to Lady P?
She's still around.
But DJ,
yeah, she's still around.
Like,
still around.
So the first time I actually sit down and take in Lady was that clash. I said then, Oh, this a bad DJ then?
Yeah, man, she bad, man. I heard that she's sickly now, though.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that.
So that's why, yeah.
Look like she never done for recording either.
No, she never did.
Man.
She never did.
Bad.
I must say, she one of them were opened my eyes, yeah.
So you have to stay for your game.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. The night there for real.
Yes.
Them say, G, you still have it up. You still have it up. How you laugh in that shout and grab it up. You still have it up. You still have it up. Some girl no look good all when them a swag it up. You still have it up. You still have it up. How you laugh in that shout. Lyrics time, cause you know say that we have, right? I'ma tell them say, G, you still look fresh, still look clean, still a cast enough man a road where dream, still look hot, still have me steam. Man a ask me if me still in a me teen, still do if he sit down on the right pan with him, still do if he wine and catch the timing, still not fi bleach cause me have clean skin and not plastic surgery no with a right thing. Me still have it up, me still.
So now, that was the late 80s,
Yeah.
and you moved into the 90s now. Still a clap. Because
Yeah.
I think 91 you did Man Get Tight.
Yeah.
I think that song was really talking about man when I spend no money.
Yeah, I think that was for Gussie too.
That was for Gussie.
Yeah, I think that
You
was for Gussie.
also
Yeah.
did Half My Age with Sanchez.
Yeah.
Gussie
Gussie
song,
too. Yeah.
because those two
Gussie.
songs are the same rhythm.
Yeah, Gussie. Yeah.
Big collaboration, that is. Big
Yeah.
collaboration, that too. Then now, the Right Slam featuring Chevelle Franklin.
Yeah.
The Penthouse tune,
That's a Penthouse.
I think that is on the Swing Easy.
Yeah. At that time, me and Chevelle, we had a vibe, we used to par, so we just start write songs together. And I regret we're not doing that collab album. Yeah, we wanted us to do a collab, yeah.
When I think about it, I say the Chevelle collab album and the Sun collab album would have been great
wicked.
bodies of work.
Yeah.
And I think somewhere along that line, and even before we reached there, so now, you started flying by this.
Yeah,
What was
man.
the first
Yeah,
time
man.
you left?
The first, I think it was 89 or somewhere
89.
around there. We went to Cayman. Grand Cayman was the place we went first. Me, Admiral Bailey, Sister Charmaine, and Echo Minot.
So you're
I can't
Charmaine
remember
done
that.
friend then, man.
Yeah, man.
Good experience, that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But them time the female artists, we just have a thing on stage and then when we
Everybody
leave
good.
stage, everybody good same way.
That's why me no one no knife and me say me no one no gun. And me no one no cut the cigar run me sister down. And me no one no cook and me no one no opium. Because them the thing we give me body come down. And why you give me sense to me cause it give me wisdom. I prior to the fall of a city morning. So to keep away from Satan and that into copy a jack of all trade and me a master for some. In a music is the respect do maximum. So if a girl I run from out, that's how I make she come. A competition is a thing that I don't run.
Grand Cayman was the first outing,
Yeah.
and then where you went after that?
Canada.
Canada.
Yeah, me, Ricky Stero, Tonto Metro, and Little Kirk.
Okay.
Yeah.
And at this time, because you never have no official management yet,
No.
I think June Star was the first, like, official
start booking
manager.
shows for me. Yeah, June Star, yeah.
Oh.
She was because after I went to England and she was the
She
one
was the
who took
one
me
who
to
did the
England.
booking.
Yeah.
You alone went?
No, I think me, Flower Gun, Lizard.
Red Dragon?
I don't remember. I don't think Dragon was. Yeah, Red Dragon was there too. Yeah, Red Dragon
Okay.
was there too. Yeah. Yeah, she took us. To
And it
England.
was close to this time or around this time now that you took your first break of sorts from the music.
Yeah.
And that was
Well, every time me take a break is a baby.
Oh, baby. Oh, so that was a birthday, your
That's the only
first time.
Yeah. No, I had my son before. I took a break. Like after DJing on sound system, when I did Ghetto Rock. Right after Ghetto Rock, I think that's when I had my son.
Okay.
I had my son right in that time. And then when I came back now, that's when I started doing all those. Yeah.
And then after June,
Yeah, then
there
I
was
have my daughter.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a daughter that passed off at 2 years old. So that they kind of.
Show you out,
Yeah,
naturally.
kind of put me up on a backbench.
I'm very sorry to hear that, man.
Depression and all kind of something. But at the same time, I had another baby born right in the same time because like I buried my daughter. The same week I bury my daughter is the same week I have my other baby.
Put it back fast, G, man.
Yeah, so honestly, I must say that child really helped to heal me.
Yes, I can.
You know,
so
it's that void that was there is like she kind of, you know,
that.
yeah, so.
Touch me little daughter, you finger them me cut off. Who not like that, me tell them which part fi chuck off. Baby them a rape and nappy them a bust have me send fi me double mount. They make me temper get shot, you know. Touch me little daughter, make she can't walk, you know. Me no free fi drop me cut, last them up them clot, you know. Stepfather touch your breast, girl, you fi talk, you know. Mother kiki off your teeth and laugh, you know. Make him turn you in your mama mate and breed you off, you know. No man fi love the little picnic when I'm a pass, you know. Go look at big woman, no shot, you know. Touch my 5-year-old daughter, would a cross, you know. So me know, tell me AK it would a blast, you know. Smarty head, who da have to rolling on the back, you know. Sweet like a gigala rolling on the dark, you know. What me say?
So.
And when you got back now, that is when you linked up with
Danny
Main
Browning.
Street.
Yeah.
And I think it was in and around close to the time that Dirtsman was killed.
Yes.
Because the song, you did a song for Danny.
Me are the gun. Me are the gun, yeah.
And that was kind of, you know, harping on
From
Dirtsman's
Dirtsman,
murder.
yeah. All of them lyrics at them time, there. Me are the gun and Perform them song there. Perform if you know your man a bad man, turn him on and make him have to disarm. Perform and make we have a good time. Violence could never compare to good wine. Between the sheet, keep him busy all night. Can't go a road, go pick no gunfight. Tickle him fancy, make him screw face laugh. One weapon you want and the other figure mass. Woman fi perform like a champion horse. Portray your motion cause you in a top class. Busy pan the case, you are here, me friend. Broke down the ranch and not come out till then. Perform. Yeah, but me are the gun was the inspiration came from the whole thing with Dirtsman because that really shaped me up too. Shaped me up real bad. Yeah, it shaped me up real bad. Even though me and Son was a duo, like, call it a duo.
Dirts was like a brother.
Yeah, Dirts are the man. You know, him and the man was full of joke and them something there. So at night time when we're up on the corner, it's just me and Dirts and some other friends where we have, you know, I them Bingo, all of we used to do them. They're the only female, the lone female there. But I must tell you too, you know, so me and Santing I come from far. Because even before we even start recording, you know, we used to have a little concert on the corner, you know.
DJ.
Yeah, and I sing. Got me tell myself so I did the work then time there.
So first you wanted to sing?
Yeah, to read it. Yes. Yeah, man. And so me and Son used to always do the singing combination.
Sing too?
Yeah. Life funny, really. We never know that would have happened.
Both you have transformed into.
Yeah.
Well, Son is regarded as the greatest male lyricist in the space. G is regarded as the greatest female DJ. But it makes sense because you have two lyricists.
You know?
And brush off of them one another.
Yeah.
And is it Me Are the Gun now? Beautiful song. Despite the situation.
Thank you.
Also, no, I think that was a time when you were kind of reinventing yourself.
Yes.
And your sound was becoming a little bit more. Because when that song was done, I think a lot of people thought that it was Lady Saw.
Lady Saw, because I want to tell you that one of these television station set up everything and blah, blah, figure do the. You know, I think at that time they used to like, when they feature the video, they would like feature the artist also. So when I went there, they thought it was Lady Saw. Lady Saw told me that they came for her first. And she said, no, me do that. I Lady G do that song there. So that's how they find me afterward. Yeah. Because at that time, that's when I came back after my daughter died and everything. That's the time.
Right,
so I was off the scene for a while.
As I said, I suppose, you know, having dealt with the loss of your child and then having to deal with the passing of your brother.
Yeah.
That must have been a rough little time there, so.
Yeah.
You know, came back after a break again and hit it running.
Yeah.
Me Are the Gun and perform. Hit songs, back hit songs.
Yeah, Main Street. No, I want to tell you at the time when I was recording for Main Street, I was also recording for Fatis at the same
we have to
time.
road to Fatis, man, right?
Yeah.
So, eventually now, them time you start growing here yet? Or is what after you start recording for Fatis?
After I start recording for Fatis.
Why so was it because Fatis was recording a lot of Rastafarian, you know, Sizzla was there, Luciano was there, Mikey General was there.
I tell you the truth. From me I grew up some stay, I never like combing my hair and all them stuff there, never.
Man,
I can remember one time, I was, like when I get holiday, and at that time I was DJing on Black Scorpio Sound, and me here the day, I just start one hot and gun, and mother said, "Oh yeah, do I rasta your turn for me? Try your best, go up," and I just said, "Go up on me so and so," and tell her, I say, if you perm me here, me pay feet afterward, yeah. But I always have that cultural vibe within me though. I mean, yeah.
Yes. And while, as I said now, while recording for Fatis, songs like When Me Rap Back.
Yeah, When Me Rap Back.
I think that was the first song you did for Fatis.
First song.
All right. So that song, now, we can talk a little bit about that song.
Yeah.
See? Mm-hmm. I have it on good information that Lady Saw and Tanya Stevens countered that song with Brought Them Up.
I didn't know that. Yeah, tell me news I know.
Okay, so that was never a thing then? So
not that I know of.
Probably me hear it wrong then.
Yeah, not that I know of.
Okay,
no,
okay.
No.
But you know that song though? The song that Tanya and Lady Saw did? No. So there was never anything.
No.
Okay, great. Because I know your voice, Lady Saw and stuff done, and
Tanya's
down the road
too, yeah.
Right, so, you know, me just try.
Yeah.
Me not make a trouble, you know, me just ask out this.
No, but you know, I mean, there always jealousy, you know.
Right.
Jealousy there. I don't know about Tanya, but I know like with Lady Saw, there was a little jealousy because when I came back, it was like, I must tell you, I did a show at, I think when Irie FM used to put on them show, Reggae Bash, yeah. I was on that show and I went there and mashed up a place and that same night, I think at that time, Lady Saw had a song with Luciana.
Okay.
And she wasn't on the show and she came to the show and she held the mic and she said, "Oh, I want to some female going like some can DJ culture too." So you could, you know, little vibe did that going right there. So yeah, but you don't know me, just do my thing.
Yeah, and I think also another thing about that song is the fact that you were always somebody who felt that, you know, some of the things that the females were saying in the space was too loud.
Yes.
So you have always been kind of standing your ground against that.
All the time. I never get no urge, no nothing at all for switch from my part.
And even if you do something a little bit, you know, in your face.
Suggestive.
Because we're going to talk about the question with love
suggestive.
and such. Yeah?
I always try to stay in my little lane, you know? I don't watch what going over here or over here, so I just stay in my lane.
Yes. Now, so Want You Back Now, that was...
Long time.
Fatty song, it was 95. A Fatty song, man?
Rap back?
No, man, Want You Back. I don't want to rap back a Fatty song.
Oh,
man.
yeah, after, I think I did, you know.
I'm shocking by you say do that song.
Yeah.
But I know that it was kind of in and around that time. Yeah. No, your first album, Goddaughter.
Yeah, Goddaughter,
was done for Exterminator, Fattis.
Yeah.
And one of the big songs of that album is Thank You, featuring Cheryl Franklin.
Yeah.
Big song, man.
Yeah, we just went to studio that day and we hear the rhythm and we just...
Start flow.
Yeah, and we just do a thing from this, yeah. Because Chevelle was that quick person. It's a punchline, Chevelle ready.
Ready?
Yeah.
So, and that was the first official album?
Yeah, I did, yeah. Real fast too, I did that album real fast too, yeah.
Because at
the time, me and this youth named Madam Joe. Because them time
Andrew was around.
Yeah, Madam Joe was around at that time. So me and Madam Joe was doing a lot of writing. We just write and that's a record, that's a write and a record. Cause you know, Madam Joe was like one of Main Street writer at the time before he started recording. Yeah, so me and him used to do a lot of writing.
Yes. In '98, which song came first? Moschino, Versace or Breeze Off?
I think Moschino, no.
Breeze Off came first?
Yes.
Breeze Off.
Yes,
Filthy
Breeze Off.
Rhythm.
Yeah.
Big tune.
Yeah.
How you and at the time too, and because you know when we talk to Danny, we kind of had this conversation.
Yeah.
At the time, you had Dave Kelly over there, so hardcore.
Yeah, man, we had-
and mainstream
I
over
go
here,
neck and
Street
neck.
over here, so
Yeah,
kind of with
the
a little
different
bit more
comedy, a little more comedy.
light
Yeah,
and
yeah.
so Breeze
Yeah,
Off was
yeah.
one of the massive songs that came out of
Main Street.
at the
Yeah,
time.
my recording style really evolved at that time when I work with Main Street. Like my style changed. 'Cause I remember, I come from the 80s, you know.
Hardcore
Yeah,
lyrics.
yeah. So Danny was the one who like kind of, you know, I learned how to, you know, differentiate the punchline from, you know, the punch and the verses and the bars and all them stuff there. So I learned that at Main Street.
What's the story behind Breeze Off?
Breeze Off, no, really, it never really have any. I know why Danny they come up with this, because Danny know me always have that problem there.
Oh, no matter.
Yeah.
So
No,
no matter,
so-
come here with your chatty,
Yeah,
chatty.
we have a
Just-
problem there, so it's like,
Oh, okay.
yeah, so that's where the whole idea really came from. But I DJ the song, you know, normal vibe, but Danny said to me, G, you know, say, I don't know, something about it, but I feel it, so I sat there and then, you know, him did I play it over and over and then I just start mimic. I just find myself just start mimic mimic my voice. And then he hear me and say, gee, you think you can DJ the song in a voice there? And I said, I don't know, but me try. And I went in there and that was it, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. Big.
Slabada, me tell you, slabada, me tell you, slabada, come down with your galley trench.
Moschino and Versace was another big song during your Main Street days. I think
Yeah.
that song though was written by Baby Sham.
Baby Sham,
Intended
yes.
to be recorded
For
by
Dave Kelly, yes,
But
yes.
that song was recorded for
Danny Brownie. Yeah, we did it. I did it a little different though for Danny Brownie.
So
we
you
had a different kind of punch.
recorded it for Dave?
No,
No?
I didn't.
How
'Cause
come you never
at the
did?
time, Dave said that he wasn't putting any more songs on the rhythm.
rhythm?
Yeah,
Oh, so
yeah, so it
Danny
never
took the
happened.
song.
Yeah,
Big tune.
and we kind of they changed it up a little from how Baby Sham had written it. Yeah. Yep.
Moschino and Versace with big tune. And I think you and Vegas remixed that song.
Yeah.
To what hot What a song
Hotter
name
than the
was?
rest.
Hotter than the rest.
Hotter than the
Hotter
rest.
than the rest.
Yeah.
hit tune, man.
Yeah.
It's that was the only song that Baby Sham wrote for you?
Yes.
Eh,
Yes.
nice. Other songs during your Main Street days, Provide the Wine.
Yeah.
Girls Like Us featuring Chrissy D.
Yeah, that song was a big surprise though. Girls
Like
Like Us.
Us?
Yeah. Cause we did it for, I think it was for UB40. They had the recording thing going on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That
and-
was B12.
No, B12 is the guy, B15.
B15.
They are the guys who remixed it because we did it a reggae version of it. We did a
Okay.
reggae song, dancehall song we did, me and Chrissy D. And we did a song like, I want to tell you that song, if do that song then forget about that song. And then when I had my other daughter now, and was, doing my thing and, I take care of my baby. Another break again. Me here, so we have a song of Mash Up England, like this is like probably like 3 years after. Me here, so we have a song of Mash Up England, and Danny them called me because I was overseas at the time.
Oh, okay.
And Danny them called me and said, gee, I forgot come. That time my baby and that it was 6 weeks. 6 weeks. Not 6, yeah, because me come down when she was 6 weeks.
Oh.
Yeah. And I had was to just boom, go to England at the time. Yeah.
Girls Like Us and Mash Up up there.
Yeah, mash up. We went on the British chart and stuff. It was like a surprise. Cause I'm like, really? Me forget totally about that song there.
Power music.
Totally, yeah, totally forget that song there. And we did Top of the Pops.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we did Top of the Pops because the song was like number 5. before on the British chart. Yeah, and we went there and did all of, I want to tell you that most of the audience that we performed for wasn't a Jamaican audience or a Caribbean audience. It was more like, the, Indian type of people that,
Yes.
And what do you call them? People who have a whoop tattoo, I don't remember, but
Probably
those,
skinheads.
different. It was a different audience.
Yes.
Different audience, yeah. We had a, great experience with that song.
And I sang Certain Friends and
I want to tell you something? With the Top of the Pops too, we went to Top of the Pops because me and Chrissy D was the only artist that did perform our song live without a back track playing into it. We sang live like they couldn't believe it, or we did it like exactly like the record. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, another hit song that came out in Main Street days, I think.
Yeah.
Man a Bad Man.
Yeah.
Because you actually performed that song in
With-
Third World Cup.
Yeah, I did.
I think the Archive did the Bad Man part.
yeah.
Man a Bad Man part.
Yeah, the sampling night, yeah. Okay.
So you were actually supposed to be in Third World Cup, or is just that performance aspect of it?
I was actually supposed to act in Third World Cup though, but we had a show in Costa Rica, and I didn't get back in time to do my part because I did the audition and everything.
Yes.
But I didn't get back in time to
So you only
shoot
did the
my part, so I
performance.
only had to do the performance. Yeah.
But a hit song that in its
Yeah,
own
man.
right.
Yeah, man.
And
Yeah,
Main
man.
Street, before we forget, so when you went, because I know originally the people who started Main Street with Danny was Junior Tucker, Papa
Papa
San,
San.
Lieutenant Stitchy.
Yeah.
But when
yeah.
you went there now, because them on the road, I do them
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
So
yeah,
it was
yeah.
Goofy, Buccaneer,
Yeah.
or Degree and Buccaneer.
Degree, Buccaneer, Goofy. I think Red Rat was there all the time, but he wasn't recording as yet. Because I started recording for Gossip, but Red Rat was there. And Chrissy D was there, yeah. Yeah, that was
And then Archive.
Yeah, and then Archive come in afterward, yeah. Yeah.
Somewhere along the journey there now, Danny got saved, became a Christian.
I want to tell you when that happened, I was on another break.
Yeah.
Yes, and went away, and then while I was away, I heard that the whole Main Street, the whole Main Street gone gospel. Yeah. Yeah, Danny Brown got saved.
How was it dealing with that though, in terms of, Danny was the man, Danny was treating with everything.
Yeah,
Main Street was a home. And
yeah, man, it was a big, like a big void for the whole thing. But we really did miss Danny because Main Street was like another home for me. Because we used to just get up in the morning, because Chrissy D was living in Waterford, and I was in Elsha. We just get up in the morning and we just get dressed, we drop the kids at my school and just go into my 9-to-5 job. And we're a team, was a big team. I mean, everybody, Danny make sure that everybody have a good song on the rhythm before anything come out. Yeah, it was I wouldn't say a disappointment though. I wouldn't say that because, everybody have them.
yes.
Them life,
But
to
it
live.
was disruptive to the career.
Yes. And that's when I came back now, then, everybody start branching off, doing their own production.
Buccaneer started
Degree
As a matter of fact,
thing.
Degree created a local
A-team, we'd have a little thing there. A-team,
so it was you, Chrissy, and Degree.
Yes.
That's a trio.
Yeah, and Archive, in
Archive,
and out, yeah.
okay.
Archive, in and out, yeah. A-team.
So Buccaneer started producing, Goofy started producing.
Yeah.
And you now created your own record label. After a while.
After a while, yeah. Yeah, G-String. Yeah.
I think that was you and your brother.
Yeah, Pancho. Yeah.
Was Pancho a selector at any point in time on 4x4?
Yeah, man. When them little, we pass off, the guy that pass off, I can't remember
No, we
his
are
name.
talking about, I remember the name either.
Yeah, he passed off.
So
now,
both
though.
of you started G-String.
G-String, yeah.
Record.
Because my brother
and
always
the G
a part of...
was that musical G or the panty
It's a
G-string?
musical G, but
Okay.
you kind of
And
twist
Lady
it.
G too, as a G-string.
Right.
Okay.
A little twist to
What do I
it,
think
strike
of?
up a
What do I think of?
conversation. Why did you give it name G-string?
And I think your first project on G-String was the Belly Skin Rhythm.
Belly Skin Rhythm,
I think Left Side built that.
Build that rhythm, yeah. Left side did
and
that
who
rhythm.
were some of the people on that?
Who was on that first rhythm? Ooh, don't remember because I did tours. Because like me have the artists there mix up.
So
I think
Belly
the
Skin and
first
Flavor was parallel rhythms then?
Yeah. I think Flavor was the one that
had on the medley with
the
you,
medley
Lady
with the
Saw
female.
and
Yeah.
Macadam.
Yeah. Before that, who may have on it? I think I had Tanya Stevens.
And Belly Skin?
Yeah, Tanya Stevens. I had Cecile. I think I had.
So it was an all-female project?
No, not really. But me always,
I look out for the
female.
Naturally.
So and then I had, I think Sizzler was on it too. I think Capleton was on it too. Yeah, quite a few artists was on it.
And for the Flavor rhythm, that was the medley video rhythm.
Yeah.
With you, I think your song was Enough on that rhythm.
Yes.
Macadam was Woman With Name.
Yeah.
And Lady Saw was Video Light.
Yeah. And the reason why Flavor really stand out more to me is because that's where Maca, our new name was from Lady Mackerel was highlighted. Yeah, so that really, stand out in my mind. And Lady Saw was a part of that too. Yeah, because we planned it. It was something planned.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we said we were gonna do, each one of us have a song on the rhythm, and we decided say we're going to do this medley video, and I would start it and then put Maca in the middle because, Lady Saw at the time was
Listen
Maca for Lady Saw. Yeah, so that's how we plan it out. And Lady Saw, she was a part of it. She was down with it.
And that video had a lot of star quality. Captain Barky,
yeah.
Fancy Cat.
Yeah.
Christine Hewitt, who else me can remember out of that. IT wasn't into it, Fancy? I was just Fancy Cat.
No, IT wasn't in it. No.
But there was a lot of star quality in that video.
Yeah. And so looking back, I said, really? But I was doing it, but not even realize the magnitude of what I was doing. Yeah.
And I think the next rhythm was, I think it was a one drop type. I think it
one
Big
drop
rhythm.
Yeah. One drop. I don't remember what the name is called.
I think it's called Degree Rhythm.
No, that's not the name. That's not the name.
Okay.
I don't remember. My brain not good.
And I think you did an album, your second album at the time. No?
I did,
Rated G.
Well, that was produced by myself and my brother Pancho. But I did an album for Gussie right in the time when I did the album for Fatis.
Oh, that was about 94.
Yeah, but Gussie album never really get any promotion, really. It was Lady G and Friends.
Oh,
yeah.
I never familiar
And I had
with
a whole lot of collab on it. I had Tony Rebel on it. I had Frankie Paul on it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Who else was... Yeah, I have quite a few people on that.
Someone like that?
Track,
Never go see that out.
Yeah, man.
What was the name of
Lady G and Friends? Yeah. Ask Gussie.
So Rated G was your third album then?
Yes, yeah, Rated G, yeah.
And that was self-produced?
Yeah, by myself and my brother Pancho. Yeah.
And one of the big songs of that is Ghetto Vibes.
Yeah, Ghetto Vibes.
Big song that.
Yeah. But that song was...
There are some quality songs on that album, to be honest with you.
Yeah, when I really get it have...
I think
it never no promotion,
was
but distributor, yeah. They were the distributor. Yeah, I think that album is lack of promotion though, because some real tough songs on that album. Yeah.
Outside of Belly Skin, Flavor, the rhythm, we can't remember how much more production work you did those days though.
I do some little one-off thing with myself.
Okay.
Produce a couple singles for myself. Because even when Kip Richard the song Telephone Thing, yeah, I did a part 2 version of it, and I produced that myself.
The letter, you counted that, Return to Sender.
Yeah, I did all those little things was on G-String label, yeah.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
And I think you and Kippo ended up doing a song.
Yeah,
I think
Marriage is a serious thing. We did it for Big A, yeah.
Oh.
And that song did well, that song was #1 in Guyana.
So more than one song you do with Kipper because you have another song with Kipper named Say Goodbye.
I don't remember that, but I know about the
That one
marriage is
there.
a serious thing, yeah.
No, me actually listen to Say Goodbye since years, so I know about that song there.
Me do so much
Sure.
recording, honestly, me can't even remember. Because at one point, me just a record.
And then this a girl whenever they love a recording thing.
Well, after Main Street,
After
that's
Main
when
Street.
I start developing the, recording.
Yes.
Because at that time, that's where the music was going. You had was to do a lot of recording, so, yeah.
So how I consider you now is what we say a triple threat, yeah? You dominated the rubber dub space in the
Yes.
late 80s. You dominated stage show. Because when you come on to stage performance,
Yeah.
Lady G are one of the top female artists who go up on stage with rock stage, yeah?
Thank you.
Also as a recording artist,
Yeah.
your hit credits long so.
Aye.
All three spaces you have made a name.
Yeah.
And we said that you did that without being raunchy or rude or cruel.
Yeah.
And whenever you did a song that really spoke to sex, it
Yeah.
was a song where probably a 6-year-old could listen and know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
suggestive. You have to read
Question
between the
with
lines.
love in there. You eat, you cook.
Yeah, well,
Big and before me go further, you have hit song in the 80s.
yeah.
It sang in the 90s. It
I
sang in
like
the early
2000.
2000s.
Yeah.
It sang mid 2000.
Yeah. I mean,
Question, talk to me about that song. The
well,
big
that
tune.
song was written by Love in There, though. Love in There, and call me. Well, my brother didn't want me to
You
do
don't want you to
this
sing
song.
the song?
No, he must say no. And I heard it. But I found the song very humorous and, so
eat,
just, yeah.
you cook.
It have a thing to it, and I really didn't like it. So I said, all right. And my brother said, well, it's up to you if you want to do it, So and I went and I did it. I want to tell you, he wanted me was to do the dumpling shop one too, but we never get a chance
never
to
get
do
a
it.
chance.
Yeah. The dumpling shop one, yeah.
And as we're talking
That
about
song that with me and Love in There, that song was like #1 for months in Suriname.
okay.
Yeah. And I think the first time we performed it was in, I think one of them Caribbean island there. One of them Caribbean island we went and me I tell
Mash
you
up.
like, yeah, wicked.
Speaking about songs again with double meaning, Herbie.
Herbie, yeah.
Because listening to Herbie, if you don't know, you probably think he's a man
Yeah.
or you think a ganja.
Yeah.
Which one
yeah.
is really closest to? Ganja.
Yeah.
And that was a personal experience?
Sort of.
Sort of.
I don't want to get into it, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Big song again.
Yeah, man.
And do you actually sit and write or you just go in on the voicing booth and listen to the rhythm and the things? And it
Some songs is easily, especially like combination, it's much easier because you feed off of what the singer is saying. So I can easily freestyle that. But like a record, like a single record by myself, sit and write, yeah.
Yes, and you were so dominant in the 80s and 90s that you have, and we just talk about locally, because I know
Yeah.
you have been given Female DJ of the Year award all over
Yeah,
North America and
yeah, Canada, America,
so. You were Female DJ in Jamaica of the Year in 88,
yeah,
89, 90,
yep,
91,
yep,
94,
something like that,
98.
yeah.
clapping.
Give thanks.
And you say you would have received similar awards in Canada and the United
other
States
places,
and wherever.
Yeah, man.
Awesome stuff, man.
Yeah, we give God thanks.
And you made mention of the album Lady G and Friends for Gussie.
Yeah.
Never get,
Yeah.
'cause you mentioned something that I didn't know you have collaborations.
Yeah, man.
with,
Yeah, man.
Right? There's a song we're not talking about yet, where you
Yeah.
did fairly early with Sugar Mine for Steely and
Oh,
Cleavy.
yeah, that was back in them time, that too. Yeah, back in them time, and still, yeah.
Big collaboration that did it.
Yeah. Because even now,
What the song name?
Dance, I don't know what the title they give it, but
Yeah,
it's
I
best
saw
to
it when-
rise with a smile on your face, just like a sunshine all over the place.
Your voice sweet energy.
Don't be like a cat in the dark, but darling, you're the nearest to my heart. Why won't you dance? I'm going to say, well, if a man just want to be my lover, I don't know who to trust, I don't know who to prefer.
Big true.
Sorry, sugar mine, that I am not in the mood. Well, if a man in my life, me have to pick and choose. I don't Get me wrong, don't think I'm rude. Too much money in my life, we get me confused. Yep.
Whole heap of man.
Sugar Man, I
Sugar
love
Man.
that song there. Me and him perform it a couple times too. Yeah.
Big tune, man. And recollaboration now, we spoke about the Sanchez of my age.
Yeah.
Chevelle Franklin,
Yeah.
thank you. You have other the Right Slam.
Yeah, that's Chevelle too.
Yeah, and Chevelle. Chrissy D, Girls Like Us.
Yeah.
Maca Diamond, Talk to It. And we
Yeah.
talk about Hotter Than the Rest with Vegas, after the remix with Moschino and
Yeah,
Versace.
yeah.
Zayn Marcia Griffiths, Woman. Beautiful
Yeah,
song.
yeah.
Oh, you come on voicing with
Well,
the
at
Queen
the
there.
time, you know, I was going to
Penthouse.
Penthouse a lot, and Jermaine idea. Jermaine said, "You may have a song here, you know, with Marcia, you know, when you do something on it." And that was it. And we have another song, you know, Rhythm of a Roll, no bad song, you know, but you just never get that promotion. Yeah.
I probably glimpsed it in the research.
Yeah,
too,
yeah,
still.
bad
I think
song.
you went on an all-female
Yeah,
tour with
yeah.
Marcia.
Yeah, with
who else
Marcia.
Who else was a part of
I
the
think
tour?
Brick and Lace was
Brick
there
and
at the
Lace.
time. Yeah, Brick and Lace. They were the one that, you know,
We're opening.
act, yeah. Yeah, I want to tell you right after that, them career just,
Shooter.
yeah, they had that hit song.
Where
yeah.
was the tour? Europe or
Europe,
North America?
Europe. Yeah, went to Europe, France,
must have been
Switzerland, all
on
of
the
them
road
places,
with
yeah.
Marcia. Amazing.
It was a great experience too, great experience because, I mean, I've been to places that, I mean, probably never hear about me at the time, you know.
So
and
you were being exposed on to Sister Marcia's audience.
exactly, yeah. Yeah, man. It was a great experience.
You also have a collaboration with Luciano, Bounty Lover. I
Yeah.
think that song the name.
Fatis for Fatis Burrows.
Fatis.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a song with you and Highway and Jealousy and Abuse.
Yeah. Bad song, I don't know. Sometimes promotion does, yeah, kill you. Can't manage a promotion.
Can't manage promotion. You just do the part that you can control, do the music.
Yeah.
Your daughter, one of your daughters, what's her name?
Mali?
You
Mali
have a
Ali.
collabora-
Yeah.
You have a collaboration with her?
Yes.
No Miseducation?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a Pink Floyd song, and we did a, you know, twist to it. She sing the punch.
So
yeah.
she's into music.
Yeah, she's doing good now. She do her thing now, man. Yep. She'll go out with herself.
Is she the only one of your children that is into the music?
No, my other daughter, she's singing too, but Mali Ali, she's the one who's doing the most recording right now. She have a lot of songs out there now. Yeah,
And
a
you
lot of
actually
songs.
producing her, or she's
No,
working
you know,
with
I
other
just make
people?
you freelance. I just make you freelance do her thing because, you know, them have them for them one generation of doing for them things. So,
Yes.
I want her to just free up herself and express herself the
Sure,
way
with
she
mommy's
wants to do it.
guidance.
Yeah, of course, definitely. Any song she do, she always come, Mommy, what do you think about this? Yeah. And I love the part that she's, you know,
On.
yeah, because them know Mommy not like it, the derogatory kind of thing too, so yeah. Yeah, so she writes some nice songs. Yeah.
And I made, and her stage name is
Mali Ali.
Malia.
Yeah. Mali. MALIIALI. So she,
Oh,
yeah.
Malia Lee. Okay.
Yeah.
And I spoke about the collaborations to ask a specific question.
Yes.
Yeah? Who you never record with that you probably sit down and say, you know, so I don't mind going to the studio with a person there. Don't match up one
Back in them, in the 80s, any time at all? Ooh, well, my dream come true with Marcia. Let me see who else. A lot more artists, you know, honestly. But like now with what's going on, Chronics. Yeah, I would love to go in.
Spanish Stone Connection,
Yeah,
man.
yeah,
Make it up, man.
yeah.
You also in, I think, 2020 were given an iconic artist award from Jaria. And I suppose that's just one of many awards that you would have received over the years.
Yeah,
but
can
as
we
a
get some in
Jamaican
between?
type of award,
Yeah.
that must have felt really nice.
Good. Yeah, man. Yeah, really appreciate it.
Yeah. Are you doing any form of any production outside of self-production these days? Like you're still...
No, not just with myself. Like, me have a vibe and me record it, you know, and thing. But not put out anything out there. I'm planning on doing a one-drop EP.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm working on that.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Looking at the journey, and as I said, you are one of the people who would have excelled in every aspect of the music.
Yeah.
Rubber dub, recording, stage show.
Yeah.
And you would have scored hits in the decade of the 80s,
Right.
90s,
Right.
and the 2000s. And you know, take boy and girl, it's a big man and big woman to them
Yeah.
someday. You understand?
But true to what I do, you know what I mean? I don't watch, I tell you, I don't watch you going over here, so I just stay right there, so.
Yes.
And just do my thing.
I must say that to ask you this. When you assess your musical journey,
Yeah.
when you look at it,
Yeah.
when you sit down and you reflect, what is it? Or is there something that, you know, give you a sense of gratitude, make you feel proud to say, yes, you know, so I do this thing my way,
Yeah.
and this is the legacy.
Yeah. I mean, like, even like now, going on a stage, you know what I mean, and people still can react to my performance. That's a great thing for me. That's a great achievement for me, because if I do it from so long, you know what I mean, go through so many different, you know, style and variety, a different kind of style of music, and still can go on a stage and please my audience. That's one of the greatest things.
And you did all the major events back in the day, so the Sunsplash,
Yeah,
the
man.
Stings,
Yep.
the Champion in Actions, all of those events.
And the Sumfest
And the
same way too
Sumfest.
when it come in, yeah.
Rebel Salute and all of
Yeah,
these big
yeah,
shows.
because I started Rebel Salute back when Rebel Salute was just in Mandeville. Yeah, back in them time, they on stage too with big belly to perform. Whole thing, yeah.
Yes. Musically speaking, what you still hope to add to the legacy of Lady G? When it's all said and done, you want that to be a part of, you know, the children and grandchildren and great-grandchildren, you look on it and say yes.
Legacy, to know that I've done some good songs, some good music that can last all even when me gone.
To work with live on
Yeah,
after you.
And still uplifting people, and somebody can learn something from my music positively.
Yes.
You know?
Rubber dub, stage performance, recording, which year are you at your most potent? Like, that is the part of the music you love the most.
You know, some early part still.
Rubber dub.
Yes. My early part of
Good
my
school.
career. Yes.
Good school.
And
good
I'm thinking about it, like, and seeing what's happening now. It's like, I feel so grateful. I feel so good, so grateful to be a part of that
Yes.
era, because a lot of, you know what I mean, a lot of artists now, they have no clue about that. Even my kids, they probably only see a cassette because I still have it in the house and CD and them something there. You know?
You were there from,
Yeah, and I feel proud to say
days.
my daughter is, you know what I mean, I didn't tell her to do it or whatever, I mean, no force her, nothing or whatever, she just start, after college and so on, she start doing her thing, she'd say, all right, I'm music now, and she's on a roll.
And for somebody who started in the music before I was born, and this
Lord
is not
Jesus.
to say that you're old, you know.
No,
This is just
that's
to say
okay.
that you look amazing
Thank you very much.
for being around this long. You
Yeah.
really look amazing.
Thank you very much.
You really
My
look
kids, them
amazing.
keep me young.
Keep it.
That's not the secret, though, you know.
That's not the secret. What's the secret?
I won't tell
You
you,
won't
because
tell
it's not
me. You
going to be a secret anymore.
But guess what? Me love when my man feed them body from good food. And ladies, you have to feed your man body right, alright? What me say? Me no want no lazy man from me property. Man to work like work from me property. The property, it might bushy, but please don't tie out no cow for the property. If you a farmer, you feel about the property. Blow up the chow for the property. Nobody pose I love me no on the property. So you feel no fi planting on the property. Who will mind up on the property? I eat enough to rap. You know come fi drink milk, you come fi do your job. But I promise you, I go somewhere you a go with bag. But this a property, you can't catch no crab. You see that little property, yeah, when me have.
Which song in the catalog is the song that resonates with you the most? Like in your quiet time, that is the song that most often comes to your thoughts. You probably when you wash or a
Yeah.
cook or a drive or a clean.
You know, say thank him always give me a thrill though.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cause that song really like come from.
Deep down.
Because if you listen to the voice, it's like, yeah.
Yeah. Many hit songs. Yeah. Which song would have done the best for you from a commercial perspective?
I think Breeze Off.
Breeze Off.
Yeah, Breeze Off, yeah.
Yeah.
Breeze Off.
I see you talk about thank you just now. You got a
Yeah.
bit emotional.
Yeah, Breeze Off.
Powerful song for you. Breeze Off. Yeah. And whilst you did not record as much as you could have earlier, you have done a lot of recordings, yeah?
Yeah, man, whole heap of song here and there, all over the place, with foreign producers all over, yeah.
What are things like, though, as it relates to the business side of Lady G's career, as in, you know, publishing and royalties aspect of the thing?
Well, from the get-go, I want to tell that Black Scorpio was the first person who introduced me to PRS.
Okay.
So I've been signed to PRS a long time, and then Gussie was the one who now teach me about the whole publishing thing, so we get my thing together.
I'm glad for you to the business side of the thing.
Yeah,
so I
man.
thought,
Coming from Gussie's school,
yes.
you have to know it.
Because they're my teacher, this one.
Yeah, you have to know it, yeah, Gussie.
Yes. Outside of music, what Lady G love enough? Where she then do to feed her kids and take care of her family if it was the music?
Music, why I don't know, you know? Honestly, I don't know. Music are the only thing that give me that joy and that thrill. Yeah, music, yeah. And other than that, we just like stay home and just cook for my kids. That's it. Yeah.
Yes.
And just relax. Cause I love my quiet time. You know? I'm not a person who love to be in there. Cause my circle kind of small. You know what I mean?
So you look young and first see. Apart from the secret. But you still love what you do.
Yeah, man, of course.
And you reside outside of Jamaica?
Yeah, I'm in and out.
In and out.
The reason being for over there is, you know, my kids and stuff. So yeah, because my two daughters was born overseas.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay.
So they wanted was to go back college and all of them little stuff there. Yeah, and I'm a proud grandmother.
You're a proud grandmother. Congratulations, man.
Yeah, my son give me one. I got one.
Very young looking grandma. G, it's a joy for Sloan and all of vibes, Zane. I mean, a long time, you know.
You just bring me back. Way back.
We're glad for that, man. And it's good to hear the joy that you just speak to certain realize that thank you kind of show you what far is still.
Yeah.
I guess the power of the song and I guess probably the story behind it. I don't know if there was that.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
But you would have done amazingly well, not only for yourself, but for the music and for women in the music.
Yeah.
You would have shown that it is okay to not get caught up in a certain vibes in the music and make a name for yourself and sustain a career.
Yeah.
I respect and admire that, man. Yeah.
You know, you want to know that when you leave this hurt, you know, people can really and truly say some real good things, and you have done some real good things in other people's life.
Yeah. I don't know if you watched the Wolfman interview, as a matter of fact, right here, so we do it too. He said something to me. So I asked him, so, you know, he was on stereo one with Stitchie.
Ricky Stereo.
Yeah. We know Stitchie, one of the general in the space. He was there seeing son going up against son. Yeah. And asked him, you know, which were the person where him really and truly has been most impressed by at any given time. And him said there are a couple of times where Lady G got away on stage, and he just take him time and walk off the stage.
Remember time when I get wassy, man. You know, you do so much things, it's like you don't really remember a lot of stuff. But
I understand.
Remember time when I get wassy, man.
Yeah, man, him tell me
especially when I'm amongst the teacher.
Son, him tell me a couple of times I have to take him time and just exit backstage.
Yeah,
man.
we had a lot of experience on African Zimbabwe.
Africans.
Yeah, a lot of experience.
You would have come and not only stood beside many of the great men, but you would have also outshined many of them, and it takes a lot of quality and skill for do that, man. Big up yourself, man. Big up yourself.
Sometimes, honestly, we have to say, myself, how you do that? But I think it's just an inborn thing.
And also the people that you are around, as we said, that chemistry there, and you guys exchanging ideas. With Dirtsman again there, and everybody else that was around. So, you know, and I think you have a song with Lutan for you. I never remember that one.
That
This
song
Love.
there. This love. Bad song, you know. One time, I never perform in our mash up the place. Yeah, man.
G.
Bad song.
Big up yourself, Queen.
And we could have go on and on. You know? Come in after I finish this interview, I said, we never talk about that. We never talk about
Then I say,
but that's how it go.
Maybe a part few one of them time in the future. Boys are drive slow and pick your brain and
man, it's a pleasure,
see the smile on your face and sometimes the emotions as the things come back. But for me, as I never really around in the rubber dub time, but I've listened to the cassette, I've watched, me interview people, and for me, the female artists who really and truly held their own, the most and the best against the male dominated part of the thing. Was Lady G. I mean, you kill some man run at some part enough times. So that call here, See it? And also the fact that you were able to create for yourself a recording career. And when you go up on stage, having the experience that you would have garnered in the rubber dub space, it shows. It shows.
Give you a lot of experience. The dance hall. You a lot of experience to perform.
As I said, the triple threat.
Easily. I have to have that. You have to have that thing there because you have to know for read your audience and all them stuff. Because a lot of times me have set, this me gonna do that. And then when we go up on stage, it's like, no.
You have to switch that.
So
you have to be adaptable. And I'm easily one of the greatest female DJs of all time. No matter how they go on, no matter how they switch or flip it, you can't grow on Lady G.
If thanks, I'm still here.
Big up yourself, woman. Looking great.
Respect.
I really appreciate this, man. Really appreciate this. Anytime you're ready to talk about some next thing, call before.
It's not finished.
Before we leave, for the promoters out there and the soundmen who want to book you and get dub plates, who don't know where to find you, how them find you?
They can just send me an email, janice.fife@gmail.com. Simple,
and the socials?
JANICE.FYFFE@gmail.com and original_Lady G for Instagram.
Big up yourself. Miss Janice Fife, Lady G. Lady
It's
Janet.
a pleasure.
It's a joy, man. We really
Sister
enjoy
Janet.
this. Sister Janet. We really and truly enjoy this. You understand?
Yeah, man.
And as we say, we're always here and keep doing the thing that you are doing. And I really and truly appreciate what you have done with the music, for the music, and to the music, man. Because you're nice, clean, young-looking self.
Lord have mercy.
Me no want nothing dead in a me house. No roach, no fly, no dog, no mouse. If me find something dead in a me bedroom, it have to come out. Say me no want nothing dead in a me house. Say me no want nothing dead in a me house. Say me no want nothing dead in a me house. It have to come up. Well, if I sick, send for the nurse for that. And if I dead, send for the nurse for that. You need a prayer service, then we will link the church for that. Then not that the church for that. Believe all that whistle to the Lord. But me no plan for me place, and I no mark is a Benz. Me have park up in a me garage, and no earth, and no casket, no inna for me, So if a man see me place, I want sleep it out. Tell him no bring nothing dead. Else me will sleep it out. Or we will walk or creep it out. Or me just style him and go sleep it out. Cause me no want nothing dead in a me house. No roach, no fly, no dog, no mouse. I want a man to tell me say me heartless or thoughtless. Me want a man to work hard, yes, and him to talk less. Not the one will come the fastest. If things are the toughest, we will pay for that mistake. Jinxing costless. Sizzler tell them to rise to the occasion. When me start work, me need standing ovation. Me no care if you're black, Chinese or Caucasian. Talking I go with me next standing ovation. So if you have something that keep a 9-eye, please don't use it to spoil my night. Me know you like how me shape and me smile nice, but me a go vex if it's soft like a spoiled rice. Me